Field is the space around a magnet in which its influence can be felt by other magnets, in which its influence or effect can be felt by other magnets or magnetic materials. It is just like electric field is the space around a charge in which its effect can be felt by other charges. So now let us say this is a magnet. This is south pole and north pole. It produces magnetic field lines and this is the space around this one. Now if you keep a small magnetic pole here, these two, let us say this is north pole and let us say this is also positive pole. These two repulse with some force. If you keep it away, then also these two repulse, but when the distance increases, force of repulsion will decrease. Now, if you keep this one somewhere here, now as the distance is too high, this will not experience any repulsive force due to this one. That means this small unit north pole will experience a force only if it is within this magnetic field or within that space in which the effect of this one can be felt by this. Now, what is meant by magnetic field induction? Magnetic field induction, generally we denote with B. This we discussed in the previous lesson also, moving charges. Magnetic field induction, also known as magnetic flux density. Another name for this one is magnetic flux density. In some books it is given as magnetic field vector. So all are equal to this same magnetic field B, which is a vector quantity, just like electric field strength. But remember students, never call this as magnetic field strength. The magnetic field strength is different, which is denoted the letter H. So we will discuss about this magnetic field strength, which is equal to H later. So this is magnetic field strength, but this is magnetic field induction or magnetic flux density or magnetic field vector, generally B bar. So what is electric field strength? The electric field strength is given by the force experienced by unit positive charge placed at a point in a electric field. So what is magnetic field induction? So magnetic field induction B bar is the force experienced by unit north pole placed in a magnetic field. So this is also a vector. This is a vector. So the magnetic field induction is defined as force experienced by unit north pole. Remember once again, monopoles do not exist, but while defining this we are just imagining that a monopole exists. So what is the SI unit dimension formula for this one? Force is measured in newtons and pole strength is measured in ampere meter. So we call it as Newton per ampere per meter. But in previous lesson we denoted this magnetic field in terms of Tesla. We measured this in Tesla. So this is also equal to Tesla, which is due to the letter T. So what is the dimension formula for magnetic field induction? So force M L T minus 2. So F is equal to MA, M is equal to M, acceleration LT minus 2, MLT minus 2 by, this is not mass, don't confuse here, this is a pole strength which is measured in ampere meter. So AL is the dimension formula for this one. Now you can cancel this L and L. So you can write M T minus 2 A minus 1. So this is the dimension formula for magnetic field induction or magnetic flux density or magnetic field vector. Now, how to find magnetic field due to a single or unit pole? So let us imagine that there is a unit pole here, monopole exists here, whose pole strength is M. So at a distance R, I want to find out magnetic field induction of this magnetic pole. So here, to find the magnetic field induction, just like to find the electric field, we are assuming that a unit positive charge is placed at that point. Here also just assume that a unit north pole is placed at this point. So what is this B bar? B bar is given by the force experienced by unit north pole. So what is the force of attraction between these two? Whether it is attraction or repulsion. Why? Because I don't know whether it is plus m or minus 1. Let us say this is plus. These two repulse with each other. So what is the force between these two? According to Coulomb's law, this is equal to mu naught by 4 pi pole strength m into 1. The first pole is m, second pole strength is 1. So m into 1 by distance between these two is equal to r square by what is the pole strength of the pole that is experiencing this force. So here this is experiencing this force whose pole strength is equal to 1. So this 1 and 1 get cancelled. So magnetic field induction is given by mu naught by 4 pi m by r square. So from this the magnetic field induction due to a pole directly proportional to the pole strength and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between these two. So this is how you can find a magnetic field induction due to a single pole. So here I am writing magnetic induction due to a pole of strength m at a distance r is given by mu naught by 4 pi m by r square. We know that B bar is a vector. So what is the magnitude of this one? Mu naught by 4 pi m by r square. This is magnetic induction due to a pole of strength m. So this is also called a isolated pole. So magnetic field induction due to isolated pole is this one. What is its direction? Similar to this one. See, let us say if it is a positive pole. Why? Because the definition itself is force experienced by unit north pole. So field induction is force experienced by unit north pole. So here if you keep a positive pole here, these two, let us say if it is north pole, these two repulse. So the direction of repulsion is always acts along the line joining the two poles here. So if you join these two, it will be as it is repulsive force. This is the direction of the repulsive force, and the magnetic field induction is also acts in the same direction of this force. Why? Because B bar is equal to F bar by M. So direction of the B bar is direction of the force experienced by the unit force which is placed here. For suppose if the isolated pole is a south pole here, now these two attract with each other. So this is the direction of the force, and B bar will be towards this one. So B bar direction is along the force direction. Now if you take two poles here, this is M, this is also M. Now what is the magnetic field induction due to these two poles at this distance? Let us say these two are separated by a distance A. So this is A, and this is also A, and this is also A. So what is the magnetic field induction at this point? So to find out the magnetic field induction at this point B, first of all we have to assume that a unit north pole is placed here. So this is unit north pole. As these two are not given any signs here, so we have to assume that these two are two positive poles. So two positive poles of pole strength small m each separated by a distance A. What is the magnetic field induction at a distance A from each pole? Resultant magnetic field. So now first let me find out magnetic field at this point due to this one. So these two repulse. So this is the direction of the repulsive force, and this is also B1. And we know that these two also repulse. So this is the direction of the repulsive force, and this is the direction of the magnetic field at this point. As it is an equilateral triangle, this will be 60, this will be 60. So the resultant magnetic field is given by root over B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2 cos 60 is equal to 1 by 2. So this will be equal to B1 square plus B2 square plus B1 B2. But we know that pole strength of this one is m, distance is a. So B1 is given by mu naught by 4 pi pole strength m by a square. Similarly, what is B2? B2 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi m by a square. So both B1 B2 are equal in magnitude, but their directions are different. So here I am going to write B net. So I am going to write this as B net, which is given by root over B square plus B square plus this is also B square. So the answer is root 3 B square or root 3 B. So I can write this as root 3 into the B value is this, because B1 and B2 are same, which is equal to B. So I am going to write mu naught by 4 pi m by a square is the net magnetic field induction due to two similar magnetic poles separated by distance a. Now in case of two different magnetic poles, so let us say this is m positive pole and this is minus m here, and I need to find out magnetic field here. So these two are separated by distance a, this is also a, and even this is also a. So at this point I want to find out magnetic field. Here to find the magnetic field in this case, first assume that unit positive pole is unit north pole is placed here. North repels, this is B1. North and negative poles attracts with each other, this is B2. So now resultant of these two is given by this one. So this is the B net. B net is given by root over B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2. As it is equilateral triangle, this will be 60 and angle between these two will be 120, because this is a straight line, total angle 180. So this is cos 120 degrees. And we know that here B1 is equal to B2. Magnitude wise both will have same magnitude. Why? Because pole strength is same, distance between these two is same. So which is equal to mu naught by 4 pi m by a square. So by substituting this one I will get this is b square plus 2b square into minus 1 by 2. So this is plus b square, this is minus b square, get cancels. So b net is given by b, which is equal to mu naught by 4 pi m by a square. For a horseshoe magnet, so this is a horseshoe magnet and this is the south pole, this is the north pole, and the two poles are separated by distance a here. For a horseshoe magnet, if you take a point exactly midpoint between the two poles, what is the magnetic field induction? So I want to find out magnetic field here. Just to assume that a unit north pole is placed here. South to north, this is south pole and this is unit north pole, repels like this, and the these two attracts like this, and these two repels like this. So both fields are acting in the same direction. So let me take this point as O. So at O, the net magnetic field induction is given by magnetic field due to north pole of the horseshoe magnet plus magnetic field due to the south pole of the horseshoe magnet. But here I am adding these two. Why? Because both fields are acting in the same direction. So what is the magnetic field due to north pole? Let the pole strength of this one is m, and this will become minus m. So B is given by mu naught by 4 pi. Pole strength of this one is m, and the distance between these two will be a by 2. So we, according to this formula, mu naught by 4 pi m by distance square. So this is a by 2 whole square, plus the other one is mu naught by 4 pi m by a by 2 whole square. You can take mu naught by 4 pi m common, and the remaining terms are this a square by 4 or 4 by a square plus 4 by a square. So this can be written as mu naught by 4 pi m into 8 by a square, or rightly you can write 8 m by a square. This is the magnetic field induction at this point. So this value will be mu naught by 4 pi 8 m by 8 square. But we know that mu naught is the permeability of free space, which is given by 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 by 4 pi 8 m by a square. This 4 pi get cancels. This is equal to 10 power minus 7 8 m by a square Tesla. Why? Because field induction is measured in Tesla. So this is equal to 8 m by a square Tesla. But in sometimes this is the SI unit of the magnetic field induction. Sometimes they may give the CGS unit of magnetic field induction, which is known as Gauss. So 1 Tesla is equal to 10 power minus 4 Gauss. So now, if the option is not in terms of Tesla, then the same expression can be written as B net is given by 10 power minus 7 8 m by a square into, in place of Tesla I can write 10 power minus 4 Gauss. So this will become 10 power minus 4 Gauss. So the total value is 10 power minus 7 minus 4. This will become 10 power minus 11 8 m by a square Gauss. So be careful. Sometimes after getting this value, students will go for this one, but in the options the unit is not Tesla. If it is Gauss, your power will change here. Topic is magnetic flux, denoted with the letter phi. So these are the magnetic flux is the number of magnetic field lines passing through a given area normal to it. Passing through a given area normal to it. Let us say this is a uniform magnetic field and field lines are represented as straight lines and equidistant from each other. So this is the magnetic field induction B bar. Now, how many lines are passing through a given surface area? Now, if I want to find out, so let us say this is a given area. Now, if you keep it perpendicular to these lines, so how many lines are passing through this one? That is called magnetic flux. Now, if you rotate this one, here see, in this case, here, if you take this hard disk, so through this one, now 1, 2, 3, 3 lines are passing perpendicular to this one. So magnetic flux through this area is 3. Now, if you rotate this one like this, now you can see only 2 lines are passing now. So then magnetic flux will be 2. If you rotate further, now only 1 line is passing through this one, perpendicular to this one. So to draw this one, I am going to take area like this. So what is the area vector for this one? So this is the area that is considered here. So for this area, I need to draw a perpendicular line. This is called area vector S bar or A bar. So generally we take S bar or area vector A bar. This is B bar. So this is the direction of the magnetic field. So magnetic flux is defined as the dot product of these two vectors. Now, what is this dA bar? If you take a small area here, whose area is dA, then this is B bar, and if the angle between these two is theta, so d phi is the dot product of the B bar dot E bar. If you want to find total flux here, so integrate this one on both sides, you will get phi is B bar dot dA bar like this. So this can be written as B dA cos theta integral B bar dA cos theta, magnitude of this into this. So this is the net flux passing through this given area. So depend on this theta, if theta is equal to 0, so magnetic flux is equal to, now we got BA cos theta. This is the expression to find out the magnetic flux through a given area. Suppose if theta is 0, that means this surface is perpendicular to these lines. Then this is B bar, this is A bar. So theta is equal to 0. If theta is equal to 0, what is the magnetic flux through this surface? The surface is given by BA only, because cos 0 is equal to 1. So this is also the maximum flux that is passing through this one. Suppose if theta is equal to 90 degrees, that means instead of this, let us say the area is taken like this. These are the magnetic field, area vector is downwards, angle between these two is 90, area vector is a vector that is perpendicular to the given area, then the flux will become 0. And then if theta is equal to 180 degrees, so instead of this, let us say if you rotate like this, so now I am taking area, this is the area vector. If you are observing from this one, all the lines are passing in this direction, but I am observing from this direction, this is area vector, angle between these two is 180, so theta 180, the flux will become minus BA, because cos 180 is minus 1. So this is the minimum flux. So when does the flux is maximum? If the area vector and the magnetic field vector are parallel to each other, flux is maximum. So here I am going to write flux is maximum if B bar and A bar are parallel to each other. And when does the flux is minimum? The flux is minimum if B bar and A bar are anti-parallel to each other. Now, and one more case is when does the flux is 0? If the area vector and B bar are perpendicular to each other. Remember students, 0 is not the minimum value, as flux is a scalar quantity, minus indicates that it is minimum value, plus indicates that it is maximum value. In case of vector, plus or minus both are maximum, 0 is minimum. But as a flux is a scalar, then positive is maximum, negative is minimum. Now, in this case, I am going to write what is the SI unit of this flux. So, from this we can write SI unit of magnetic flux is given by, here B is the magnetic field induction which is measured in Tesla. So, I am going to write this as a Tesla, area meter square, and cos has no unit. So SI unit of magnetic flux is Tesla meter square. This is also named as Weber. It's a name of a scientist. It is named after scientist Weber. Similarly, SI unit is Weber, and what is the dimension formula for magnetic flux? The dimension formula is given by, this is magnetic field into area. So what is the magnetic field? We have different formulas for magnetic field. The best easiest one is B is equal to F by M. So force MLT minus 2, this is ampere meter. So A into L cancel. So MT minus 2 A minus 1. MT minus 2 A minus 1 into, and area meter square L square. So you will get ml square T minus 2 A minus 1. So this is the dimension formula for magnetic flux. But sometimes they may give some problems in terms of the CGS unit. And the CGS unit of flux is called Maxwell. So it is given that 1 Weber is equal to 10 power 8 Maxwell. So this is not Glenn Maxwell, this is Maxwell, the old name, scientist name. This definition, if theta is this one, so flux will be maximum. So from this we can define the magnetic field induction. Flux is equal to B into area, so B is equal to flux by area. So that is called magnetic flux density. Another name for magnetic field induction is magnetic flux density, which is given by B bar is the flux passing through unit area. So one more SI unit for magnetic this field induction is flux is measured in Weber and area meter square. So Weber for meter square is another diamond, this SI unit for magnetic field induction or magnetic field flux density. And what is the dimension formula for this one? So flux, just now we wrote the dimension formula for flux is this one. So M L square T minus 2 A minus 1 by area L square. So these two get cancels, M T minus 2 A minus 1. So this is the dimension formula for magnetic flux density. B bar is equal to flux per unit area. Magnetic induction due to magnetic dipole. A bar magnet is also known as magnetic dipole. Electric dipole is a system of two equal and opposite charges separated by some distance is called electric dipole. Here I have taken a magnetic dipole. Here in the electric dipole, two equal and opposite charges separated by some distance. In magnetic dipole, two equal and opposite poles separated by some distance, and that distance we call it as magnetic length, which is denoted with the letter 2L. The line that passes through the two poles of a bar magnet is called axial line, and the line which is passing through the center of the magnetic dipole and perpendicular to this magnetic axis is called equatorial line. Now we wish to find out the magnetic field on the axial line as well as equatorial line of a dipole. So to find out the magnetic flux density or magnetic field induction at a point P at a distance O from the center of the dipole, this is the, let me take distance D here. So how to find this one? Whenever you are finding magnetic field induction at any point, just to assume that a unit north pole is placed at that point. Now, what is the force of repulsion between these two? Because this is the north pole, this is also north pole, these two repulse, whereas this and this attracts with each other. As this distance is lesser, repulsive force will be more. So this is F repulsive and this will be F attractive. So the net force at this point P is given by F net is given by F repulsion minus F attraction. So what is F repulsion? Force of repulsion between these two is given by, according to Coulomb's law, mu naught by 4 pi. Pole strength of this one is M, this is minus M. So M into 1 by, this is M into 1 by, what is the distance between this point and this one? This distance is D and this distance is L. So this will be D minus L. So this is D minus L whole square minus, what is the attractive force between this and this? Once again, this is given by mu naught by 4 pi M into 1 by, the distance between this and this will be, this is L, D plus L. So this will become D plus L whole square. So you can write mu naught by 4 pi M common. So mu naught M by 4 pi common. This will become 1 minus D minus L whole square 1 by D plus L whole square. So directly you can write mu naught by 4 pi m into, after simplification the denominator will be d square minus L square whole square. This is d plus L whole square minus d minus L whole square. So this will become 4 into, actually you will get 2dl plus 2dl, 4dl. So you can write this as mu naught by 4 pi m into 2l into 2d by d square minus L square whole square. So this is the magnetic moment of this bar magnet. So you can write this as this is F net, which is given by mu naught by 4 pi. This is capital M, this is 2d. So 2 capital M d by d square minus L square whole square. So this is the net magnetic force experienced by unit north pole placed at this point. But as we are finding magnetic field induction, the magnetic field induction on the axial line is given by, I am going to write here, magnetic field induction on the axis or axial line of a bar magnet is given by the force experienced by unit north pole. So I am writing force experienced by unit north pole means pole strength of this one is 1. So F net is this one. So directly I am substituting this value mu naught by 4 pi 2m into distance d by d square minus L square whole square. This is the magnetic field on the axis of a bar magnet. Now how to find magnetic field on the equivalent of a bar magnet at a same distance d from the center? So already we derived this in electrostatics. So to find the magnetic field induction here, just to assume that unit north pole is placed here, north to north repels with each other. This is the repulsive force, and north to south attracts with each other. This is the attractive force. Now from this we can write this is attractive force, as these two are equal in magnitude. Why? Because the pole strengths are same and the distances are same, and this will become root over d square plus L square, and the total magnetic repulsive force is given by mu naught by 4 pi pole strength of these two, m into 1 is m, and the square of the distance between these two, already this is root over d square plus L square, whole square will become d square plus L square. Similarly, repulsive force is also equal to mu naught by 4 pi m by d square plus L square. What is the resultant of these two? Why? Because this is a one vector, this is another vector. Resultant of these two is going to be the diagonal drawn from the same line, same point here. So this is the F net. Here F net is given by, if you know this angle is theta, this will also equal to theta. If it is F, this will be F cos theta, F sin theta. Similarly, if it is F, this is F cos theta, F sin theta. Both F sin theta will be cancelled each other. The net force at this point is given by 2f cos theta. So this is 2 into any one of these forces, because both forces are equal in magnitude. So I am going to write mu naught by 4 pi m by d square plus L square into, what is cos theta? From this adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is L, hypotenuse is root over d square plus L square. So this is L by root over d square plus L square. You can see this m 2L is equal to pole strength of this bar magnet, which we can write mu naught by 4 pi m by d square plus L square whole power 3 by 2. This is F net. But as we wish to find out the magnetic field on the equivalent of a dipole, magnetic dipole or bar magnet, magnetic field on the equatorial line is given by the same thing, F net by 1, because 1 is the pole strength of the dipole, which is pole strength of the one which is magnet, which is placed here. So now you can write mu naught by 4 pi m by d square plus L square whole power 3 by 2 is the magnetic field on the equivalent of a bar magnet. Now what are the directions of these two? In this case, as this repulsive force is greater than this one, repulsive force is acting in this direction. So this is in the direction of the magnetic moment only. So B axis is in the direction of magnetic moment of the bar magnet, so which is acting from south to north. This is m bar, and this is also in the same direction. So this is from south to north pole, whereas the magnetic field at this point is, you see, this is in this direction, that is from north to south pole. So here if you want to write this in vector form, you have to write minus here. Why? Because magnetic field induction at this point is opposite to the direction of the magnetic moment, so we have to write minus. So what is the relation between B axial line and B equatorial line? So B axial is equal to minus 2 times of B equatorial. Why? Because if you observe these two, for a sharp magnet where 2L is negligible here, so sharp magnet 2L is small or L is negligible here, and if you keep this as 0, this will become d power 4 by d cube. So this will become, for a sharp magnet, this will become mu naught by 4 pi 2m by d cube, whereas the magnetic field on the equatorial line for a sharp magnet where L is equal to 0, B on equatorial line, it will become mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube. Why? Because this will become 0, d square whole power 3 will become d cube only. So in that equation this is 2m by d cube, but this is m by d cube, but as I said earlier, it is negative and this is positive. That's why the relation between B axial and B equatorial for a short dipole is equal to B axial is equal to minus 2 times of B equatorial. But if you want to take only the magnitude without direction, B axial or B axis is equal to 2 times of B equatorial. This is without the direction, this is with direction. Be careful, whenever a question is given in a competitive exams, please check whether it is only magnitudes or both magnitude and direction. With both magnitude and direction, you have to write a negative sign here, this is minus 2, but if only magnitude, this is directly, magnitude will be 2 times of this one. Magnet, just now we derived magnetic field induction on the axial line is mu naught by 4 pi 2m by d cube, on the equatorial line mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube, but the directions are different. This is along m bar, but this is opposite to m bar, so I will take minus here. Now if you consider one more short magnet here, and I need to find out, we wish to find out magnetic field neither on the axial line nor on the equatorial line, somewhere here. So to find out the magnetic field at this point P, somewhere here, so first join the given point with the center of the short bar magnet. So now this is the point which is at a distance d here. Let the pole strength of this one is small m and small m, and this is the south pole, this is the north pole, and the magnetic moment is m. This magnet can be assumed to be two different bar magnets here, so whose magnetic moments are different. So this is the first bar magnet, and this is the second bar magnet. So we know that if you keep two bar magnets like this is the first one, this is the second one. Let us say this magnetic moment and this magnetic moments are, let us say this is m cos theta, this is m sin theta. If these two are kept parallel to each other, and this is the south and north, the resultant magnetic moment will be like this, which is given by root over m cos theta whole square plus m sin theta whole square plus 2m cos theta 2m sin theta into cos 90 will be 0. So this is m square cos square theta, m square sin square theta. So m square into cos square theta plus sin square theta under root. This is 1. So this is m. So here this blue color magnet is assumed to be a resultant of two different magnets whose magnetic moments are m cos theta, m sin theta. As this line is making some angle theta with this one, if it is m, the magnetic moment of this bar magnet will be m cos theta. So this is m cos theta, and it is 90 minus theta, so this will be m sin theta. So this magnet is assumed to be a resultant of two different magnetic moments, m cos theta, m sin theta. So after this, what I am going to write? I am going to find the magnetic moment at this point P due to these two magnets, not because of the original magnets, due to these two magnets. So for this magnet, this point is on the axial line. So this is the point P. So for this M1 magnet, this is M2 magnet. For this is point P. For M1, P is on the axial line. P is on its axis. So what is the magnetic field induction due to this Bohr magnet at this distance, which is a distance of d from the center? So B due to the first Bohr magnet at point P is given by on the axial line. So for a short Bohr magnet on the axial line, mu naught by 4 pi 2m by d cube. So this is mu naught by 4 pi. And what is the magnetic moment of this Bohr magnet? 2 m cos theta by dq. Similarly, for this M2 magnets, this point is not on the axis, this is on the equatorial line. So I am writing for M2, P is on its equatorial line. So according to this, B2 can be written as mu naught by 4 pi. What is the moment of this Bohr magnet, which is equal to m sin theta, and distance is same d. So this is m sin theta by dq. But remember students, this is here, the directions are very important. Here this is along x-axis and this is along negative x-axis in this case. But here at this point, for this B1 is in this direction and B2 is opposite to the dipole moment. Dipole moment is in this direction. So this is B2 here. So what is the resultant magnetic field at point P? The resultant magnetic field B resultant is given by, as these two are perpendicular to each other. Here also these two are perpendicular to each other for this one, but I am not taking the same point here. This and this are perpendicular, but here magnetic field itself are perpendicular. So we can write this as B1 square plus B2 square plus 2B1 B2 cos 90 is 0. So the resultant magnetic field at this point at an angle theta with this position vector is given by this. In some books it is given as B at an angle theta with a main magnet is given by root over. What is B1? Mu naught by 4 pi 2m cos theta by d cube. What is B2? Mu naught by 4 pi m sin theta by d cube. So you can write mu naught m by 4 pi into d cube is common both. So mu naught by 4 pi m by dq is common. Here also mu naught by 4 pi m by dq is common. The remaining terms are 2 cos theta and sin theta. So this I am taking whole square. So this is 2 cos theta whole square plus sin square theta. So you can bring this one outside as it is common term. Mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube root over 2 cos theta whole square will become 4 cos square theta plus sin square theta. So mu naught by 4 pi is a constant, keep it separate, m by d cube root over. You can write this 4 cos square theta as 3 cos square theta plus cos square theta. So this is 3 cos square theta plus cos square theta, one more sin square theta, it will become 1. So this is the magnetic field at an angle theta with the given position vector according to this one. But what is its direction? As these two are perpendicular to each other, the resultant magnetic field here will be in this direction. So this will be b theta here. Now, what is the direction of this one with the actual magnetic moment or original magnetic moment of the given Bohr magnet? Already it is making angle theta, and let me take this angle as alpha. So total angle made by this b theta with m is given by theta plus alpha. So total angle between m and b theta is equal to theta plus alpha. But theta will be given in the problem. Why? Because we need to substitute this theta. They have to give this value. But how to find alpha? So here I am going to write this is B1, this is B2, and this is the resultant here B theta. So I want alpha here. So tan alpha is given by opposite side by adjacent side. So tan alpha is given by opposite side is B1 and B2 and adjacent is B1. So this is B2 by B1. So we know B2 value here and B1 value here. This divided by this. So this will be mu naught by 4 pi m sin theta by d cube by mu naught by 4 pi 2m cos theta by d cube. So now you can cancel the terms here. Mu naught by 4 pi, mu naught by 4 pi, m d cube get cancelled. This is sin by 2 cos theta or half of sin theta by cos theta, which you can write it as tan theta by 2. So here I am finding tan alpha, which is equal to half of tan theta. So based on this one we can write alpha is equal tan inverse of half tan theta. Suppose if this theta is equal to 0 degrees, so this point will lie on the axial line. So from this I am going to keep, if theta is equal to 0 degrees, point P will be lies on the axial line of the bar magnet. Let me substitute theta as 0. So net magnetic field will be mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube root over cos 0 will be 1. So this will become 1 square will be 1. 1 into 3, 3. 3 plus 1, 4. So this is 3 plus 1, 4. So directly this is equal to 2. Mu naught by 4 pi 2m by d cube. Similarly, if you keep theta is equal to 90, so then this point will lies on the equatorial line. So theta is equal to 90 degrees. B will become mu naught by 4 pi m by d cube. Cos 90 will be 0. 0 square is 0. 0 into anything is 0. So remaining term is only 1 here. Root 1 is 1. So this is the expression. And these are the values that already obtained in the previous topic. This is the magnetic field on the axial line when theta is 0, which is the known quantity for us. And if theta is 90, that is equatorial line. And this is the result already we obtained in the previous class.